Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I've got more guitars to string up. This is a PRS, a Paul Reed Smith SE Custom 24. Really nice pretty top on this one. This is a built by World Musical Instruments, Korea. And the serial number starts with an R04. So my best guess is it's a 2004. Let's just take a quick look and see if I can see what radius this guitar is. I have my radius gauge out. And we're going to start right here at the 12th fret. And gotta kind of look for a while. I don't think it's 7 1/4. Here's 10. That looks really close. I mean, this is not real scientific. 12 rocks a little bit. So I'm going to say at the 12th fret, we have a 10-inch radius on this thing. PRS SE Custom 24. Let's go ahead and just get right into it and pull the strings off. Let me take another look at something real quick though. It looks like our string gauge right there is a 44. This looks like it's a 10. 10 through 44 gauge, maybe. So honestly, the worst part of this guitar, let me cut these strings off right here, these two. The worst part of this guitar is just up here at the headstock, all the dust and dirt that's on there. So this guitar was traded in, and I've had it for about a month now, and it's time to clean it up, get it ready to be displayed. So back when this guitar was built, it was out of the South Korean factory of World Music, and I believe now they're being made in Indonesia at the Cortec factory. So Cort guitars are making them nowadays. So these strings are in here pretty good. They're kind of, somebody did the whole thing where they put them around, or they put them through the string hole, and then they looped them around and shoved them back in there again. Not the best way of doing it, because when you go to change the strings, you know, now we have to fight to get these old strings off of here. There we go. Just cut them. Get them off of there. Yeah, stupid the way they do this. I know everybody's got their reason for doing things, but I would not do it like this. There we go. Okay, so I'm dying to get in here and just clean this off a little bit right here. Flip the guitar around this way so you can see that. Grab a shop rag, little furniture polish, and shine this up. Paul Reed Smith has a great reputation for building great guitars. This is an 11mm wrench just to snug these tight. Let me see if the 10 fits on here. We're just going to snug these down a little bit. There we go. There we go. The nut looks nice. If you put your finger and thumb on each side, it feels like it's centered on there pretty good. It's maybe a little bit short on this bottom side here, but that feels pretty good overall. There's nothing that I'm going to need to do to these fret ends because that feels perfect like that. I am going to put a little bit of lemon oil on here. Trying to drown those birds a little bit. Keep them from flying away. It's like an oil spill on the beach, right? The seagulls are trying to get out of it. And you can always tell real quickly if it's a 24 fret version, because the 24 frets will have the owl right here on the 24th fret. So if you see the owl, you already know it's 24. You know, in a used guitar shop like what I have, you have to make things look as good as possible. You don't want customers coming in and if everything is dirty. I knew a guy that had a guitar shop and he wouldn't clean any of them. And it was crazy to me that he wouldn't clean his guitars. And he wouldn't set them up, and he wouldn't do this kind of stuff that I'm doing. And that seemed a little bit weird, that he wouldn't clean his stuff up. And I don't even think he did the kind of stuff where he sold accessories. And I don't think he, you know, had strings and cables and picks and capos. I think he just sold used guitars and flipped guitars, and he had vintage ones. He mostly sold vintage guitars and amplifiers, and he'd never had, again, you know, he didn't have a bunch of accessories or stuff. And his guitars, they were all super cool old Fender Strats and stuff, but he didn't clean them up and polish them and stuff, which I thought was weird, because I enjoy it. Okay, so you guys know where we're at already here. We're ready to throw some strings on it. So play the jingle. Today's string choice. Okay, today's string choice. I'm going to go with the Ernie Ball Primo Slinky. This is a 9.5 through 44. So on a 9 gauge set of strings, you have a 9 and an 11, and then you have a 16 and a 24, and then you have a 22, or yeah, you have a 16 and a 24, then you have a 32 and a 42. So this is just a little heavier on the bottom and a little heavier on the top. Guys be like, why do I watch ZIMM'S when I already have Dave's World of Fun stuff? The king of the restring video. I do restring videos because I have to restring all these guitars anyhow. Every day I restring, you know, 3 or 4 guitars, maybe sometimes as many as 5 or 6. And I figure, you know, I might as well just let the camera roll. And then you guys can see my inventory through my YouTube channel based on what videos I've done recently. This has that really nice bluish gray greenish color about it. More gray than anything. Leave it in the comments what this color is. And we all know that PRS guitars are a really high quality guitar. And I think it's, we have the SE models because of Carlos Santana. PRS did the Santana model. And Carlos was like, guys, make a cheaper version so it will be accessible to everybody. So you can get a quality PRS guitar, you know, for $600 or $800 instead of $2,300, you know. And that was Carlos Santana's idea. So there is going to be a little bit of setup work that I think we might have to do to this, because some of these saddles, they look like they're down as far as they will go. We'll have to do a little setup work on this one. And there's still those guitar players in the world that, like, you know, they're like, I don't like PRS guitars. I just have never bonded with a PRS guitar. And it seems a little bit strange because they are really, really nice guitars. And the people that love them really love them. I know guys with a half a dozen of these things. Let's take a look at this now. It looks really flat, so I'm going to loosen this truss rod just a little bit. So we have a little bit of neck relief here. I believe this is my PRS wrench right here. Okay, so I made a couple small turns and the truss rod looks nice and flat now. So I'm going to leave the truss rod cover off for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and tune the guitar, and I think I might be able to put the tuner right there. So the bridge, you don't want this thing after you tighten the strings to be all jacked up like that. So it's still laying in there nice and flat right there. So I think the string tension is still fine. I can see in the bottom of the guitar there is 4 springs in there. And wow, this is a nice soft feel to that whammy bar. Double check the tuning one more time. Okay, then we'll check the neck relief one more time and see how she's looking. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm confident enough in this string height right there in the truss rod to go ahead and put the cover back on. Okay, there we have it. There it is, guys. Beautiful condition. PRS SE. And this guitar is available. Okay, so I have another one to do, so let's get into the next guitar. 2 PRS SEs in the same video? You're damn right.
You're goddamn right.
Here we go. Let's look at this one now. Another beautiful guitar down here. This one's the hardtail. This is the Mark Holcomb. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But this guitar did come stock with the DiMarzio pickups in it. It is a hardtail. The neck looks like, the back of the neck has like more of a satin finish on it, and you can see the little sort of stinger stripe right here. But yeah, the back of the neck is more of a satin finish. So I need to do a little research and see who this Mark guy is. Leave it in the comments, let me know. But this one needs shined up, a PRS SE. Very nice looking, sort of a purple burst. A cool gray color. It's got the purple and then the black all the way around. 24 fret, because I see the owl. Looks like a really black ebony board. Don't know if it's ebony in this day and age, what they use. But to me, that looks like a really black ebony board. And it needs new strings. You can feel a little bit of dirt on here. Ooh, that one's pretty bad. That one's got a little bit of dirt. I mean, I could probably get by with these strings, but I'm going to go ahead and change them because I want this guitar to play like butter, right? So let's go ahead, get these strings off of here. I'll do some research and we'll see who this signature guitar belongs to. But this guitar, now the last one we looked at, it was the made in Korea version by World Music. Well, this guitar is built by the Cortec. So Cort guitars out of Indonesia. And I think this is a 2018 model. So it's not very old. Very nice looking guitar. Does have the binding. No wiggle stick on this one. Strings through the body. Get these old strings out of here. This has the black chrome hardware on it. I am ready. Let's get some strings. Here we go. Let's get some strings. Today's string choice. Alright guys, I'm going with the exact same strings as I put on the last one. Primo Slinky 9.5 through 44. And I love the feel of lighter gauge strings. But I know that I'm trying to figure out how to please my customer, right? So I have to do what I like to do and what I like to feel on guitars, and that would be 9-gauge strings. But I also, there are a lot of guys, there are a lot of guys that feel, you know, too light of a string, you know, it's too jangly under their fingers, and so I'm trying to, I'm using these strings to try to figure out how to have something that feels good to me when I play it, and then have something that the average customer coming in where it's going to feel really nice. Okay, now I said earlier that these were DiMarzio pickups, but now that I have the strings out of the way, I can see plain as day it says Seymour Duncan on there. So Seymour Duncan pickups, and I'm 99% sure that they came stock in this model. You know, there are a few of those guys out in the world that they honestly, they don't like some of how the PRS pickups sound. So yeah, me honestly, I'm starting to get better with, you know, with hearing pickups and what sounds better to me, and you know, if something is wound really hot or compared to clean and, you know, not so many winds, it sounds a little cleaner. But I'm one of those guitar hacks that plays through a high gain amp with a lot of distortion. And I have a feeling that this guitar is going to sound really good with the same type of high gain amp under a lot of distortion. Okay, here's our G string. That is a 16 gauge. Here's our B string, which is a 12 gauge. Okay, so I got this looking better up here. I like to take my time and make sure that things look, I have to get things to look as clean and as new as possible. And then after a little research, I found out that this Mark character is from the band Periphery. So modern metal, today's up and coming version of Dream Theater or something, right? Periphery. So here it is. It's strung up. Let's just tune it. And I imagine that Periphery is probably in some strange tuning, but I'm going to put it in standard tuning. Alright guys, there you have it. Two PRS guitars in the same video. How about that? Thank you guys for watching. Everybody have a great day and get out there and go buy a new guitar.